Hello, dear friends. I have been struggling to get back to the videos. My allergies are driving me crazy the last few days. I'm going to need to pick up something to address that. I've been having a few assorted other physical ailments, mental ailments, financial ailments. Not a lot has changed for the better since last we spoke, which was maybe a week ago when I reviewed Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm not going to do a blue review yet. Getting back into things, I want to do something. It will be fairly easy. And this is also hopefully going to help me with my current woes. If anybody has the money to jump on board what I'm about to bring to your attention. I did a video recently called Welcome to My eBay. So this is going to be Welcome Back to My eBay. I may be doing some of the same ones I did before, but I think I've picked items that I didn't talk about last time, but we got a little bit of everything. So bear with me. They're behind me here. Let's do the DVDs first. They're always fun to get out of the way. And if my allergies start really bothering me, I'll pause and take care of that and resume. So I have this DVD. It's been out of print quite a while. Pretty well-known cult movie, cult horror film. Kind of insane, hippie, psychedelic madness. It's called I Drink Your Blood. And this is indeed the deluxe, uncensored director's cut by David Durston. His legendary hippie horror classic with the great Lynn Lowry on the back. This movie is the trip. I didn't get into it that much the first time I saw it. But then, quite a while later, I watched it, and I was like, man. And I watched it one more time because I decided to sell it several months ago. It was going for pretty high prices. It's not on Blu-ray yet. For a while, people were asking like $50 or more. I gradually have marked mine down to kind of go with the fair market value situation, which I try to stay close to that as it ebbs and flows. So now I think I have it priced for $30. I'm not sure if I'm lowballing myself or not. But anyway, $30 or best offer for this. I Drink Your Blood. A lot of people have viewed this. No one has made me an offer, though. It's been up quite a few months. We shall see. Every one, a few people made me offers, kind of low offers when I first put it up. And I put it up for quite a bit of money. It's also out of print. It's near dark. I'm not sure if I showed you this on the other video or not. Really nice prismatic sleeve, tons of extras, and this is Anchor Bay. Is it Anchor Bay? Yes, at their finest, rescuing wild cult movies and giving them this incredible treatment. There's a booklet in here. There's Homer, the William Burroughs fan, who's eternally a kid. The gorgeous Diamondback, played by Jeanette Goldstein. Where the other people go? Severin, played by the late Bill Paxton. And I guess if you take the discs off, if you take one disc off, you see the young lady here and the young man, Adrian Pasdar. I think you have to look in here. Well, I don't know where you actually see the leader of the vampires. He's got to be right in front of him. Jesse Hooker, played by Lance Henriksen. He says, let's just say I fought for the South. We lost. This was the first major film by Catherine Bigelow. And in my humble opinion, it's still by far her best film. I haven't really enjoyed her other films that I've seen. I haven't hated them. I just haven't really enjoyed them. However, I prefer her work to her original mentors, James Cameron. I much prefer Catherine Bigelow's work to that of James Cameron. And as you can see here, Jeanette and uh, Lance and Bill all were from the cast of Aliens, which Cameron directed a couple years prior to this, and Bigelow helped with. I believe she may have co-written it. She was, I think, romantically entangled with him at some point in there, in between his dalliances with Linda Hamilton. And now he's got a new Avatar movie coming out, so we can collectively vomit on that news. The Chunking Express. This one was worth quite a bit. This is a long out of print Rolling Thunder Pictures DVD. This is from the studio that Quentin Tarantino established in the mid 90s to release movies that he thought deserved to be seen again, given a different platform. And he did VHS and DVDs of these. Chunking Express was one. He also did Switchblade Sisters, Curdled. I think he did Kissed, Detroit 9000. I think he did the Takashi Kitano set with Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman, with Sonatine, or maybe he just did Sonatine, and then the Zatoichi edition had the Sonatine with it. I had that one with two Beat Takashi films, and I sold that. Sonatine's great, by the way. And several others I've forgotten. He didn't do a whole lot of movies. Early on, he had announced he was going to do Blood and Black Lace, but VCI ended up getting the domestic DVD rights for that. This is Wong Kar-wai. I have sold most of my Wong Kar-wai, and of course, I've been hoping for a year to get the must-have set. It's like 7 of his movies on Criterion. I just can't get the money together. If any nice patrons want to shell out for that when there's a half-off Criterion sale, I think it's $100 on Amazon right now to perpetually compete with the Barnes & Noble half-off sale for Criterions. But that's an essential purchase I really need to get. But I'm divesting myself of the originals I've had. I've sold a few. So this one, I think right now I'm asking about $45 or $50. But again, best offer. It is rare, one of the rarer Wong Kar-wai DVDs. Let's see if I got anything else here. I have another Wong Kar-wai I'm selling, even though it's not in. I don't think it's in the set. It's his first venture into, I guess, American filmmaking with Hollywood talent. My Blueberry Nights with Natalie Portman, who's awesome in it, and Norah Jones, her acting debut, she's really good. She also does the music. Jude Law is quite good, and Rachel Weisz is fair as a supporting player. I really like this one. It's a nice one. He's translated his kind of romanticism from his Hong Kong films nicely over this. So let's see. I think there are, yes, a few genre movies. Massacre Time by the great Lucio Fulci. I think I'm asking $850 or best offer for this. I may have already made you guys aware of this. This is Franco Nero, Nino Castelnuovo, and George Hilton in one of his earliest roles. And Nero is still kind of riding piggyback off the Django vein by having a Django-esque look of sorts in certain scenes. This is a good Western for Fulci. It's 1966. Really good early work. An early one by Tito Brass, I may have already again talked about this, Nero Subianca or Attraction. This is a weird psychedelic film. It has Terry Carter, later known, I guess, best as Colonel Ty on Battlestar Galactica, and he also was in Foxy Brown. It's one of his earlier roles, and then this other lovely woman who stars in it. I want to say it's the lady who stars in Obsessions, but it's not. She just kind of looks like her. Anita Sanders. And basically, it's like a meandering, wandering psychedelic romp with, of course, the I don't want to say subtext or undertone. It's very much an overtone of interracial attraction between Terry and Anita. And music is by the band Freedom, which is a pretty good early psychedelic quasi prog band. They appear on camera throughout the movie. Their music's kind of like a Greek chorus. I've heard all their albums and actually quite like them. This album is really good to this, and this is a cool movie. I think I'm asking for 30 for this maybe, but I will definitely go lower. Um, the early Tito Brass material that Cult Epics put out on DVD really needs to be on Blu-ray. It's a great period for Mr. Brass before he, went all out erotic on us. This is a rare one that I'm asking for $55 for, which is a significant drop compared to what it had been going for, and a lot of people have been asking for. I think when I posted it, I asked for 100. I've been gradually whittling away at it. I've had a few very small offers. This is The Butterfly Ball, a film by Tony Klinger, fun musical extravaganza. Um, it's adapted. It's a visual companion to the Roger Glover album, uh, The Butterfly Ball and the Grasshopper's Feast, which in itself is based on a children's book that Roger really was fond of. So Roger wrote all the music for this. This was right as Deep Purple was still together, but Glover was no longer in Deep Purple, but he had all these connections to Deep Purple. So in this, you have David Coverdale singing and Glenn Hughes, both of whom were with Deep Purple at this period. The actress Twiggy is singing. The amazing John Lawton from Uriah Heep and Lucifer's Friend, who sadly passed away last year. And I did a video about it. The sound's not that great, but I tried to talk a little bit about him and his career. He's one of my favorite vocalists. Ian Gillan does one song. Now, on the album, this is adapted from the studio versions of the album. Have Ronnie James Dio prominently on 2 or 3 tracks. And his song, he could not do the movie. He was touring with Rainbow. And of course, this is, looking forward to a year or so down the road when when Blackmore leaves Deep Purple and forms Rainbow and pulls Ronnie from Elf, which band he was in at this time, and Ronnie Dio and Richie Blackmore forged the amazing band Rainbow, or at least their first few albums are truly kind of essential hard rock, heavy metal, highly influential. Please check them out. So you basically had some interesting twists and turns as far as people covering Ronnie's songs, and Ian Gillan popped up. He was in retirement at the time. He was no longer in Deep Purple. He had taken a year or two off to do work in business and also kind of some spiritual stuff. He cut his hair, and so he covers Ronnie. It's the first time he covers Ronnie. Now, of course, he covered Ronnie when he was in Black Sabbath. He sang a couple of Ronnie Sabbath tunes, Heaven and Hell and Neon Nights, and did it. I'm in the minority here, but I think he did a fucking amazing job. If you ever get a chance to, if you're into this kind of stuff and you get a chance to listen to any live bootleg recordings, audio, there aren't any good video ones at all, unfortunately, of the Born Again Black Sabbath tour with Ian Gillan singing lead. He knocks it out of the park. He nails all the Ozzy and Dio songs, and of course his own material is just amazing. So he kind of reappears with this, and John Lawton covers one of the Dio songs, and of course they've always had kind of a similar tone to their voice, I thought. And there's other great musicians, Eddie Hardin on violin, and John Lord on keyboards. Vincent Price does some narration. Of course, I mean, this was before Thriller. I think this was even a little bit before Welcome to My Nightmare. Vincent Price is like, if there's a rock song that needs some menacing narration, I'm there, man. Some other musicians from that period who are really great. John Gustafson, the bass player. Tony Ashton, singer keyboardist, Mickey Lee Soul from Elf, and later Rainbow, a great keyboardist pianist. Um, a bunch of people that I'm not as familiar with. I mean, I know watching them kind of which ones they are, but I'm not familiar with their resumes. But yeah, and again, here's listed John Lawton, Glenn Hughes. So this is a rare masterpiece. I don't know if it's ever going to come out on Blu-ray. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the market. Like I said, I have a 55 or best offer. I'm not going to go too low on it though, and I'm going to see how the next few months play out. I'm going to keep my eye on the market. I'm going to possibly start raising the price for this. So get it now and while you can. Anyone who loves that era of hard rock, heavy metal, prog rock, and just the whole fanciful idea of a weird concept video from a hallucinogenic children's story with music written by Glover and a legion of great singers and musicians. It's pretty essential. Also, I recommend the studio album. I don't know if it's in print, but you can get it on YouTube. Speaking of music, Breaking Glass, I just put this one up for sale with Hazel O'Connor. This is one of, to my mind, one of the very best punk rock, new wave, British, that era of British punk rock and new wave films that there is. The American counterpart would be probably be Ladies and Gentlemen, the Fabulous Stains, which I'm holding on to for now, but will sell soon. It's not on Blu-ray yet. That's an amazing film. And this is it came out in 1980. It's very much kind of right at that juncture point between the golden age of British punk rock, like 76 to 79. The Pistols had just broken up. The Clash were still roaring strong. The Damned and all these post-punk bands were writing in. Some of them were called new wave. I would say the music in this is it's punk at heart, but it's melodic. It's kind of like melodic post-punk new wave, but it has a great story. It's like the whole, she's a very tormented character and very interesting character trying to cope with fame, trying to do it on her own terms, DIY kind of punk rock style, but dealing with the hassles with band members and romances and record deals and shows and everything. So Breaking Glass, that's actually the name of the fictional band she's in. I think I'm selling this for 20 or 25. No, at least 25. But yeah, I can haggle. This one I just put up, The Violent City, because it came out on Blu-ray. I'll upgrade eventually. La Cita Violenta. This is 1970, I believe. And this is one of the greatest Charles Bronson films, hands down. I think it's one of his most incredible performances. It's directed by Sergio Solima, who did some great spaghetti westerns and also did another great Euro crime movie called Revolver with Fabio Testi and Oliver Reed. That one came out at the same time as this one. They both came out on Anchor Bay. So several Solima films came out on Anchor Bay on DVD at the same time. This is an uncut one. It's got some untranslated scenes. It's a full European cut. Like I said, it's Charles Bronson, his real life love, Jill Ireland, who played quite a few of his movies, and Telly Savalas as this godfather like character. I believe his character's named Jeff Feston. Yeah, and he is really a hell of a character. Bronson, during this period, had a way of creating these indelible characters like Harmonica from Once Upon a Time in the West, and of course, Paul Kersey from Death Wish, Arthur Bishop from The Mechanic, and I'd say Jeff Heston from Violent City is right up there with one of his great. Yeah, I dig Bronson from this period a lot. So this is the last DVD I'm going to do. This one right now I'm going for $87, which is more than fair. It's extremely limited. This is number 1,168 out of 1,200. So it's not a low number. It's a high number. So it's not as rare or collectible, but still out of 1,200 made in the world. This is a company, I believe, it will call Onar Films. I believe they're European. This is in NTSC region free, so you can play it. Well, actually, it's PAL. It is PAL. I can play it. I have several region free players. So make sure you have a PAL way to play it, a region free. But it is region free. It's just it might not play on an NTSC only system. Basically, it's two films about Killing, this character who was also known as Killing, who was one of these Italian fumetti comic book supervillains, anti-heroes that became super popular in the 60s. Of course, Diabolic is probably the most famous one. But, you know, there was Killing, there was Satanic, it was a female. Then you had some that were kind of riffs on older characters, mostly French characters, who kind of got a revival in comics and films around the same period, like Belphegor and Judex, and Belphegor, Fantomas. It's a fascinating period because the original kind of dark, weird, surreal pulp hero villains that were popular in France and in Europe in the 1910s and 20s, that whole ethos hit Italy and then Europe again in the 1960s. You know, these two sisters, I forgot their last name, created Diabolic, the comic book, and it was huge. And this all came in the wake. The Killing, etc., came in the wake of this. So these are two very rare. These are Turkish films, if I'm correct. Turkish translations, not Italian, if I'm correct. I wanted to say they're Turkish. But yes, they're Turkish adaptations of a Italian fumetti comic book supervillain anti-hero. And they're in Greek with English subtitles. Greek and English subtitles, Turkish language. What do these translate as? Killing versus Superman. Not really, not Superman. Killing, Strip, and Kill. So yeah, he is amazing and outrageous. Okay, I'm going to pause this real quick to address my allergies, and then I'm going to wrap up with this next bit. Hello everyone, I am back. Rocket J Squirrel is still for sale. I think I have him at $35 or best offer. He's like my little mascot for the eBay videos. He was featured prominently in the last one, and he's kind of pissed off because he's like, when the hell is someone gonna buy me? He wants to fly around someone's new home. He's tired of this place, so keep him in mind. Got a few comics of note here, some, I guess, some that to some people would be classics. Yes, I have a few very old Thors. And, you know, there's a Thor movie coming out, I believe, next month. So this is your chance to explore where it all began. This is Thor number 125, Journey into Mystery 125, the last issue called that. The next issue, it begins to be called only The Mighty Thor. This is his battle, the first part of his battle with Hercules. This is in pretty amazing condition. At least it's from 1966. Just some incredible Kirby art. I think I'm asking 65 for this right at the moment. I also have number 123, also incredibly good condition. Not much major of note happens in this issue. You know, it's got the Absorbing Man and Loki and all kinds of crazy shit. But Harris Hobbs, the reporter, who becomes a character later on, some weird tribal demon guy. But, you know, check out, it's also got the Tales of Asgard. So check out this, The Jaws of the Dragon. Sounds like a Kung Fu movie. Look at this crazy design Jack Kirby does for Odin. I mean, he just went nuts on Odin's costumes. Absolutely out of control. Love it. So, here's one where Thor goes to hell, literally, to save poor Hercules, who was tricked into a pact with Pluto, aka Hades, master of hell, aka Hades. and he descends into the Greek underworld. Uh, you know, I don't know, man. What can I say? I can't go too crazy with showing you pages because I don't want to mess up this amazing book, but we'll just watch some of these. Just all out mad action, crazy pop art designs. Uh, the King. This one I still have in a bag. This is number 133 of the Mighty Thor. This is the first appearance of Ego, the Living Planet, played by, sort of, by Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So I'm asking 85 for this, because Ego is now a household name thanks to James Gunn. Oh, here's another. Journey into Mystery of Thor, number 120. Thor got his hammer sliced in half by the Destroyer, and he reforges it in these Pittsburgh steel mines. Uh, Good friend, collaborator, and permanent channel patron Tim Tolbert lives in Pennsylvania, and he was talking to a guy at a comic book store who mentioned this to him, and I was like, I've got that issue for sale. I don't know how much I'm selling it for. I want to say like 45. Here's a Sergeant Fury and his Helen Commandos book. For some reason, these were some of my gateway comic books. I don't know why. I mean, they're not brilliant like Harvey Kurtzman's EC War comics, but you know, Kirby doing World War II, Kirby doing anything. I mean, I think Kirby kind of does the layouts, and there's some finishes. Well, no, he doesn't do it on any art. Now, this is in pretty rough shape. But this is number 25, and it did come out originally in 1965. So I would say I'm asking like 550 for this, but I'll take a little bit less just to have some. I have some even older Sergeant Furies, like from the first couple of dozen issues, that are really rough condition to the point where I'm going to sell them, but I don't expect to get much for them. I would just grab these books when I was a kid. I have some later than this too. Um, Not as big a fan now, but here's a comic book that I'll always be a fan of: The Tomb of Dracula. I have an almost complete run. I'm missing a very small handful of early issues, and I'm missing issue 10 with the first appearance of Blade. That was one of the first things I sold on my eBay store. I sold it for $895. That's still the single most I've gotten for a single issue comic book yet. Um, I've got a pricey one right here. I'm going to show you in a minute, but this one I think I'm asking like $7. These have been sitting around. They're in great condition. Nobody wants them. I mean, I have duplicates of these. So that's why I'm selling these. Tomb of Dracula 31. Same deal, about $7. Taj takes over. Great Gil Kane cover. This one's near and dear to my heart. I had an extra copy of this one, Thongor, Creatures on the Loose, number 29. Day of the Dragon Kings, great Gil Kane cover. Oh my god, the story is called Lord of Chaos. And check out this incredible fucking art. So different. Because this is Vicente Alcazar. He was one of this amazing, what they called the Filipino wave that worked for Marvel, especially in the black and white line of magazines, also for Warren in their black and white line. And then they also did color comics for Marvel and some for DC. They're some of the greatest artists I think that have ever worked in mainstream comics. And their line work has been a massive influence on my ink work. Just really, truly. I mean, along with like John Toddleman has been. The Filipino Wave, yeah, Alcazar, this stuff is like really solid and realistic, grounded figures. Great contrast with the blacks. I mean, I could go all day with this kind of shit. But should I? Anyway, the Thongors. Here you meet some strange being called Saw, High Priestess of the Dragon Kings. Let's check that out. Let's check out Saw terrorizing this poor girl. So, the other great thing about this comic book is it was written by my favorite comic book writer, Steve Gerber. He took over Thongor in the last few issues of his Creatures on the Loose run. Thongor is a Lynn Carter sword and sorcery literature character, kind of that came in the wake of Conan and Call and the Robert E. Howard stuff. Um, Lynn Carter stuff is also very interesting. He did some Conan pastiches as well. I really have a soft spot for Thongor, and Thongor started out with kind of black hair, a little more Conan-ish. Um, I think the writer was George Alec Effinger, who was a fair sci-fi fantasy writer. I don't want to say he was a hack, but he was, some people say Lynn Carter was a hack, but he was. I get why they got him, but when Gerber took over and changed Thongor's hair to red, distinguish him more from Conan, and got Alcazar to do the art, it's just there's like I'd say 3, 4, 5 issues that are just essential stuff. I'm parting with this for $7.50. Just incredible condition. I wish I could ask for more for it, but it's really not going for much on the market. Now this item, I guess, is around a 5.5 altogether. It's very slick. It's complete. It's colorful. It's not torn. Pages are pretty much white to off-white. Can you see that? And it's Brother Voodoo, the very, very, very first appearance. Brother Voodoo, look at this iconic shot. Incredible art by Gene Colan and Dan Adkins. But Gene Colan always does incredible art. So this one was in incredible condition, but it suffered a little bit of damage. I'll go ahead and show you. I don't know if you can see it. A little bit of water damage from flooding. It's a little bit on the back corner. One down there. And I think it kind of, the little oozy spot, I don't know if you can see it. I'm crumpling the book here. But it kind of carries over through this portion of the page throughout the book. So that brings the value down quite a lot on this book. However, it's worth a fortune due to this kind of weird resurgent popularity of Brother Voodoo in recent years, and it being such a distinctive character. I believe this comic book is from 1976, I want to say. Oh, no, it's earlier than that. 1970. Ooh, I don't know how to read that. Any glasses. Maybe 1973. I guess it is. I thought it came later. Anyway, I was asking $500 for it. A woman talked me down to $300. I had it ready to mail out. She was a regular customer too. And she wasn't paying me, and the days were going by, and after 3 or 4 days, eBay finally gives you the chance to cancel the order, or give the person the option to cancel the order, because where's my money? I can't mail out without money. Some people don't understand that, amazingly. Rule of thumb for eBay: if you're a customer, if you intend to buy something, absolutely make sure you actually have the money to pay for it. Absolutely make sure that you want it. The few days of handling and that it goes through the postage, I've begun having very recently some issues with people who are like, I changed my mind, give me a refund. I had one today. I had the book packaged. I was on the way to the post office, and this guy sends me this annoying message. He's like, I haven't heard anything from you, any more updates, and on the ship, so just go ahead and cancel it. I'm sick of this, and I'm like, wow. So I told him basically, hey, I'm mailing it out 1 day late, which is true, and here's why. And however, I'm minutes away from the post office. It's packed up. I'm sending it first class. You're going to get it really soon. The due date for him to receive it, according to eBay, on my end and on his, was May 28th. So today, on May 17th, I was going to mail it first class. So it would have gotten there 3 or 4 days tops. And so I pointed this out to him, and he's like, oh, never mind. Go ahead and mail it. Thanks. I don't know what's up with these people. They have these mood swings, and they take it out on us poor eBay sellers. But that happens in retail also. So. It's face to face. You can sometimes de-escalate the situations with vibes and body languages, but when you're going with, emails and text messages, and you don't know who this person is, you don't know what they look like, what their bearing is, and they get very careless, and they talk to you kind of like they would, talk to you if you were like their misbehaving child, or their annoying parent, or a pet who just pooped in their dinner. And even then, they're even more cruel than that. So go figure. That's it for now. I've got some other stuff. I'm about to list this one here. Return of the One-Armed Swordsman. I have the first one for sale. This one has the beautiful slipcase, and this has the beautiful. What's this character's name? Dang Fang. I can never get him straight. I think his name's Dang Fang, but he's the One-Armed Swordsman, and he's amazing and one of my favorite characters. Um, I'm working on a character in my story. Oh, by the way, probably asked for about 15 or 20 for this starting, but it'll make me an offer. Uh, I'm working on a character in my story who is a female with one arm, and she's actually based. I'm actually kind of basing her on a young lady I knew who did have one arm, who was she was quite a warrior. She this wasn't that long ago. She had a really powerful effect on me emotionally in the short time that we were hanging out virtually. We were video chatting. Um, but as usual, things went wrong. I can attract women, but I can't seem to hold on to them. I mean, it was like more misunderstandings, and again, you're dealing with like a wounded person, meaning her, and that's not a diss like disabled. Being disabled is not like bad or inferior or wounded. I just mean from what she told me about her life, she had some wounds. That was one of them, and I have a bunch myself, and we kind of really sparked to hit it off as friends, and I was hoping maybe eventually, But anyway, we respectfully and amicably parted company. Um, but she made a great impression, so she's inspired me to do a really wild character that will eventually pop up in Flickr Street. This is the very rudimentary stages. Doing a lot of work on Flickr Street. Um, Gotten some good feedback from my piece of art that I'm going to post on my website. I went and posted it other places, and I've sketched out the two follow-up pieces that are going to also accompany this long novella I've been promising to put on my website for a year and a half. Um, but I am closer than ever. With my hands doing a little better, I can do more of the drawing, illustrations, and the prose part is all done. I've already done introductory videos. They're already on my website. The next step is I'm going to write a prose introduction as written by one of my characters, Leo Rosegrave. And then I'm posting the picture of you in the recent one I showed you guys in the formative stages. And I'm going to publish this 80,000 word piece in 3 books. And each book will have an illustration. So I'll do book 1 with the Ewan Cromwell character. And I'm working slowly on sketching out the other 2 now. So quick Facebook update. I'm sorry. Flickr Street update. So this is also an eBay update. So welcome back to my eBay. All of this and more are for sale at reasonable prices. I'm easy to deal with. I send stuff out pretty fast. I just need a few business days for handling due to work and other activities, my health, etc. Weekends, holidays, and stuff. But I've got a pretty good thing going. I've been doing this almost 2 years now. I've made a pretty good amount of money when I needed it. Unfortunately, the last 6 to 8 months have been an extreme drop. So right now I'm not dead. The store's not dead like it was recently, but it's in spurts. It's like a slow accretion of small orders. And again, I'm starting to have people who I guess they've broken out of the COVID, era where they were all like, oh, peace on earth, goodwill toward men, stay safe. I understand, we're all going through it, man. And they're regressing back to their greedy, hungry, nasty, impatient capitalist ways. So, such is life as a seller. So, take care. Check it out. The link for the store is underneath. Love you guys.